Hey guys, what's up? It's Patio FM again, and today I wanted to jump on here and talk to you guys a little bit about Reddit and the basics on how Reddit works and some of the things that you should be aware of if you are planning on using Reddit as a traffic source for some of the models that you have for your agency, or even if you are a solo creator and looking to leverage Reddit for yourself. Now, this video, it's not necessarily going to be an in-depth review of all of the technicalities that go into very specific methods that we use on Reddit or maybe some other agencies use on Reddit, but it'll really be more aimed towards agencies who are looking to maybe start leveraging Reddit, or maybe solo creators who just want a bit more information on how to operate effectively on Reddit today. As a quick disclaimer before jumping into things, it's important to note that Reddit is its own unique animal. And what I mean by this is that the rules are constantly changing and things are being tweaked as far as the different types of procedures that you need to follow in order to avoid getting banned. Like, for example, Reddit went public as a company, I think it was about a month ago now. And leading up to that IPO, we noticed a pretty hefty increase in bans and shadow bans and different restrictions being put on a lot of our accounts. And ever since they went public, we've actually seen that trend continue, unfortunately. And so this is kind of why we don't want to get too specific into methods, because some of the very specific things that we do for our clients could literally be completely obsolete by next week. But this video should at least be able to give you kind of a general idea and a good starting point as far as what the current meta is when it comes to Reddit and how it works and what works generally speaking, and how to stay as safe as possible from different bans and restrictions that we're seeing come up more and more often. So let's go. Hey, I'm Patio FM, your friendly neighborhood OnlyFans manager, managing girls in the top 1% and helping other OnlyFans management agency owners achieve their dreams of growing, scaling, and optimizing their own OnlyFans management agencies with the absolute best processes out there. Shoot me a follow and a DM to my Instagram, which is in the description of this video, and let's connect on Telegram. So we're going to jump into it here and start by talking a little bit about the setup of the Reddit profile. So what I've done here is that I've pulled up just a very general profile to use. We're not going to use any specific creator pages on this because we don't want to disclose their information or give them a free advertisement. But the general rule of thumb is that when we first get an account, we do a post directly onto their profile. So not a non-subreddit specific post. This is a post that's meant to just be like, get to know me or where to follow me, just a way to funnel the fans to the OnlyFans. It's got to be an excellent picture of yourself, or if you're an agency, your model. Then once you have that picture uploaded, you'll then put all of these socials on there, and you'll make sure to include the OnlyFans specific tracking link. And what you can do, and what I'll show you here, is that you can actually go in and shorten that link to make it look cleaner. So I'm going to go to my profile here, and then I'm just going to create a post as if I'm doing this for one of my models. What you'll do is that you'll just take the link. I'm just going to take any random link, and then what you'll do is that you will highlight it, click the link icon, and then put the link in the link spot, and then the text obviously in the text spot to make it shorter and a ton cleaner, and it essentially hides the long tracking link. So you'll do that with every single link that you post. Now, what you're gonna wanna do on your profile is that you're going to wanna have 4 pinned posts as the maximum, but you don't wanna do this right away, right? So on your profile, you should write a good bio and have it explain a little bit about you or your model, and then allude to the fact how you do not respond to any messages besides in the DMs on OF. So go to your settings, and then from your settings right here, for example, I'm not going to click it, but you'll click on it and you'll click chats and messaging, and you'll turn off direct messages for everyone. And you also turn off the chats from everyone. The reason is because when you post, guys are going to come to your profile and they'll try to DM you and essentially do anything to try to get your time and energy away from OnlyFans. And in our experience, people who are trying to message on Reddit are time wasters or people who just want to talk all day and never actually pay for anything. So just turn off all the chats and the DMs so they only have one option, which is to go to OnlyFans. So allude to it at the end of your bio and just say, like, click the link below to chat with me. We'll usually have some emojis pointing to it. And then below it, what you'll see down here on your profile is right about here. It'll say OnlyFans, and you'll have a link here that you can use that they can click to easily access your account. You can do this by creating a link by adding a social, but I wouldn't recommend doing this because then you can't use a tracking link. You could do this with like a free trial link or just the general OnlyFans link, but if you want data on the traffic that you get from the posts that you do on Reddit, then you will need to do it not using that. And this is because we just track the work that our VAs and Reddit and people do for us. So you have your first post, and it's just a specific one that leads to your socials. You'll, of course, pin this post. Then what you'll do is that you'll start posting on this account. So you can start with some very general subreddits and then niche down to what your model's niche is. And as you make posts, I would recommend pinning 2 of your best performing posts with the best pictures or content that you end up posting. And then lastly, you should be pinning a post that's kind of unrelated to your OnlyFans profile. That's kind of specific to your niche. So for example, if you love cats and you're posting as a creator on Reddit, one of those pinned posts should be a cat post because you're giving the subscribers something to connect with you on. So if they see that, they'll be like, oh, I love cats too. I think I'm going to subscribe to this girl's OnlyFans because we probably have a lot in common. So they'll go on, message about the cat, and then you'll be able to build that relationship with that fan. So what I'm going to do for this is that I'm going to jump over here and kind of show you how we're going to look for different types of subreddits to post on. So I'm just going to go to this Safe for Work subreddit real quick because this is going on YouTube. But if you want to start to find different subreddits to post on and you're starting from scratch, you should go to some of these super broad ones. And then from there is that once you're on Reddit and you're on that subreddit, go to top and then say maybe for the last year. Do it somewhat recently so you can see what the meta is as it relates. So you're basically reverse engineering here a little bit. Just select a profile, open it up in a new tab here just for simplicity purposes. And from here, you'll see a woman with 2 million karma and just an absolute ton of comment karma, and you'll see that she is an OnlyFans creator. And you'll notice that it does not have the typical OnlyFans button. It has this link, which is the custom link. And like I said before, the reason for this is to put a tracking link here. So what you'll do is you'll just scroll down through their posts and you can see where they're posting, and you can make a note of the different subreddits that they do. A lot of them are for her own personal subreddit though. I'm not going to scroll down on this example though, because her profile is clearly not safe for work, but you'll just go down and find the ones that seem to be performing the best and then putting them into a tracker kind of like this. This is a screenshot of our tracker, and ours is a lot bigger than this. Feel free to take some of these if you'd like. What we do is we color code things in terms of different verification or issues. Blue is not enough karma, green is good, orange means verification, and red means banned. If you keep track of these, it'll be essential for you and your VAs because Reddit bans and suspends all the time. It's going to happen. It's inevitable, even if you're ultra careful. So you need to make sure to keep track of this, especially if you have multiple Reddit account strategies going, one safe for work, one not safe for work. You need to keep track of where you're posting. You can also keep track of the times that you post. In our experience, there's not really a best time, but there are some subreddits that have rules about once per 24 hours rule. So your VA needs to make sure to make a note of that. Now, when you're posting, let's say you have one image. Reddit has a rule that if you post that image 4 times or more, it can be seen as spam-like behavior. So what we do is we have our VAs post an image 3 times, and now we actually have just lowered it to 2 times to be even more careful. And I mean like 2 different times on different subreddits, not the same subreddits. So when you're doing this, you just post that singular particular image to each one of those subreddits and not posting it again until the subreddit again itself allows for reposting. So what we do to get around all of that and enable us to allow our content to stretch out is that we use Shane Francis's Spoofer. Our strategy is that we want our models to focus on revenue generating activities. For example, like TikTok lives, or maybe some specific requests that fans have related to OnlyFans content, like customs, for example. So you could have your model create a surplus of pictures and put them into a Dropbox folder. And then with Shane's Spoofer is that it will take that image and you can make as many variations as you want, and it will make tiny variations to it. And most importantly, it will change the metadata. What this means is that you can post the same image to multiple different subreddits every day, and as long as each one of those variations is spoofed, it's considered unique by Reddit standards. What this does not protect you from is moderators. Because if a moderator sees that you're posting the same image over and over again, or maybe they moderate different subreddits and they see it, they can manually go into your account and mark you as spam, which is a big problem. Moderators, as you will learn, are very power hungry and they enjoy abusing their power a lot of times. So they like to go to great lengths to ban you. So take that for what it's worth, but just know who you're fighting against, right? For the purpose of this video, I also wanted to kind of jump over here and demonstrate how the spoofer works. So I'm gonna pull up this cat Reddit, since we're on the topic of cats, like I already mentioned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up this other picture of this cat that I've actually already taken from this subreddit, and we're going to use that picture, but we'll open up this spoofer. And this is the Shane Francis spoofer tool. We've been using it since it came out. We've actually been one of the clients on it. And if you are looking to scale your Reddit operation and minimize the amount of work that you have for your model so that she can create more important content, the spoofer is absolutely necessary. And just keep in mind, we are actually affiliated with this. So just keep that in mind. We are promoting this because we do have an affiliation. But so you'll see that there's different options here, right? So the second most important option is converting to GIFs. So what we'll have our model do is she'll send a really long video that maybe is even used on her OF and cut out certain parts of it into clips that are less than 10 seconds and then save them as .mov files and then click convert to GIF, and then you will just simply put the file in here and it will convert it into a GIF. From there, then you'll do the most important thing, which is repurposing it here on this tab. You'll repurpose it here from this Reddit spoofer page. And then so what you'll do is you'll essentially click this. So you have to make sure the files are in a certain format like JPEG, JPG, MP4, or .gif. That's what the spoofer spoofs. So when you click on this, you'll have a folder get pulled open. It'll typically be the folder that you most recently had open. Then go ahead and just simply select the image. Now, we'll put this image in here once. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to have the output location be the same as the input. However, with our models is that we typically have like a general folder with our models where they'll upload content. We'll then take that content and then spoof it and then put the output as something completely different so it doesn't get confusing. Then we'll usually just label the title as spoof, just so that our VAs can understand that it's a spoofed image. Now, when it comes to the effect intensity, low is always going to be a smaller change, medium is going to be a medium change, and then high obviously is going to be a high change. The general rule of thumb is that low and medium have some level of chance of potentially getting marked as spam on some subreddits. Meanwhile, high almost guarantees that it will not get marked as spam on subreddits. So if you want to be the safest, select high. I recommend it. The changes aren't that crazy and it's worth it. Then for the number of rounds, this is basically the number of copies. I'm just going to put 25 in here. Usually I just do 2 or 3 at the time, because then once you're done with it, then what you can do is you can just delete it from whatever folder you're saving all these to. What you can also do is if you have 30 images, once you put all this proper information in, luckily the creators of this spoofer is that they make it very intelligent, and you simply just check this check mark and it'll apply to all of the images. And then you just press start and it'll slowly create all of the images associated with this spoof. So pulling over this folder, you'll see that each one of these images have some sort of variations as it relates to each one. So let's pull this side by side here of these kittens here. And what you'll see at your initial glance is that each of the photos here are mirrored. And there's other slight variations as well. Like for example, the one on the right looks like it might be a little bit more cropped, like they might have cropped a little bit. And also the lighting looks like it changed as well. And this is enough to trick the Reddit system into thinking these are completely separate images. And this is how you are going to save yourself time, and you're going to save your models time and give the most important thing back into your schedule, which is time, so that you can do more profit bearing tasks. All right, I'm going to change gears here now and talk a little bit about karma on Reddit. Karma is the most important currency on Reddit. You'll need higher karma to post into certain subreddits, as well as to comment, as well as to just gain access to a lot more. So what you're going to do, and of course, if you have a VA, it's going to be a lot more efficient if you just have them do this, unless of course you are a solo creator. Your quickest way to gain comment karma is going to subreddits that are extremely engaging. So for example, we're going to go to Am I the Asshole? And we'll go right here. Now, the stories here are pretty engaging and pretty funny. So they might find some entertainment if you assign this to your VAs, but you'll just go to new and you'll kind of scroll through these different items here and different stories that you'll see as it relates to this specific subreddit. So what you'll do is you'll just find posts that are new that have good comments on them already. So you'll click on this one, for example. You'll see that has a couple comments. One of them is going to be an auto-generated comment, of course. And it looks like actually both are auto-generated. So don't comment on that one. Not a good example. But this one, for example, has 7 comments. So you'd go ahead and upvote it because you want it to get more viral. And then downvote the competing ones so that more attention goes to this one. Kind of minuscule though. And then you'll go ahead and have your stories, and then have them come up with like baity or catchy or controversial comments on this story. And what has potential of happening is that that comment can potentially pick up. We've done this before several times, and we did it at like 8 or 9 p.m. And then the next morning when we checked, it had like 100, 200 upvotes. So if you get lucky, you could get a good amount of comment karma this way. Now, other ways to get karma, and I'll give you an example here. So we have a model who is like a streamer, like Gamer Girl. And when we had her get her PC, get up, and we had her take a picture of her gaming rig, we had some kind of excessive lights. And we also had a gaming chair, which apparently is pretty controversial in the gaming community. So we went to this subreddit right here, which is PC Master Race. And what we did is that we posted this image on here, and all the people who subscribe to this subreddit is that they went on and they commented their opinions, commented advice. It really blew up. It was crazy. We got like 1,000 karma from just one single post. It got a ton of upvotes. It also got some downvotes, but then all the comments were going back and forth. There was just a lot of community engagement on this one. So it was just kind of a best case scenario. And doing that as consistently as possible with your clients is a great way to build karma on Reddit. I guess the last thing I'll leave you with here is that you need to read and fully understand all of the rules on every subreddit that you post on. So what I do is I'll read all of these twice and then make sure the VA reads them all twice and then go through the process of making the post. This isn't Instagram where you can hope for something to fly by, even though it might be against TOS. You cannot break these rules because you will get banned if you do. And also the mods have mod discretion and they can pretty much remove posts for any reason they want. It doesn't necessarily even have to be against the rules. So what I would recommend is actually DMing the mods and just asking for tips. So try to do that. Just be careful because they do like to abuse their power pretty heavily. So the more nice you are with them, the better chances you have of not getting banned. And don't spam images, but if you do post an image and it is auto removed by the moderator for a spam filter, do not go in and delete that post right away. Don't go back and delete posts on account that you bought from someone either, because if you do that, Reddit has actually really been bumping up their spam and ban mechanics. And so if you go in and delete a lot of posts, your account is for sure going to get shadow banned. So just don't do it. Just move on to a different iteration of the spoof or just a completely different image. Keep track of the subreddits that this happens to so that you can avoid those subreddits for a couple days. You'll get a message up here as well. And if you get a message up there, that usually means that you won't fit the karma or age requirements. But if it does not show a notification up there after it was auto removed, that means that it was picked up by Reddit for being spam. So just move on at that point, completely change subreddits, and don't revisit that one for a little bit. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to give you kind of the basics in terms of Reddit as it currently stands right now. Reddit is probably the quickest platform to gaining followers if you're starting from absolute zero. So if you have literally zero following on any social medias and have nothing, Reddit will probably give you the quickest results as long as you follow some of the things that we talked about in this video. Also, I have the affiliate link for the Shane Francis spoofer that I talked about a little bit in this video in the description of this video. So I'd appreciate if you do want to use that, using that link to get it. But other than that, like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.